Hey everyone. So round of 32 just ended, and about like an hour ago, it was Colombia and Ghana playing. Colombia won 1-0. It was an okay game. It was kind of boring, but it was, I feel like it was just all right. It was not as exciting as the other games that happened during the round of 32. We've seen some upsets. We've seen three penales already, and honestly, even one today. I just think it's crazy, honestly. Like, or I think it's three or four penalties, right? I'm not sure. I think it's three because I know it was Netherlands and Morocco, Argentina and Cabo Verde almost went to penalties. I was hoping it would. I'm telling you, if that game went to penalties, I think Argentina was gonna lose, dude. I think Vozinha was gonna like hold it down for Cabo Verde if they went to penalties, but sadly they didn't. But yeah, it was Morocco and Netherlands that went to penalties. It was also who else went? What was that first day? I remember. No, it wasn't Norway. It was Paraguay and Germany. I remember. Yeah. Dude, I should have put money. I should have put money on Paraguay to win, dude. Because like, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like when I was watching the game, before the game, I knew Germany was gonna win. I just thought Germany was gonna win. But like while the game was going on, I'm like, I don't know, dude. Paraguay might be able to pull this off. Like, don't sleep on Paraguay, and they did it. They pulled up an upset. I mean, we're gonna have to see if it lasts against France. I doubt it, but France isn't Germany. But I mean, this is a pretty good run of in itself. I know no one expected them to make it to the round of 16. To be in the same to be in the same group as Argentina, Norway, Mexico, France, Spain, to make it like on the U.S. and Brazil. Even though U.S. whooped them in the first game, but they're still in there with the U.S. and they're still competing and stuff. No one expected them to make it this far. Which honestly, I think that's a commitment of its. That's a commitment in of its own. But before I yap any further, I'm gonna go look at the bracket, react to some of the games that went on, and then make my predictions for the 8 round of 16 games that are coming up tomorrow, and then up until Tuesday, I think. Yeah, up until Tuesday. And then show you guys the map as well. It's changing a lot. A lot of more countries are getting more land. Let's just say that. So this is the live bracket of the FIFA World Cup so far. So round of 32 just finished, as I said before. So recapping all that, Germany lost to Paraguay in PKs. They went 1-1, and they won 4-3 in PKs. France beat Sweden pretty convincingly, 3-0. South Africa versus Canada, they lost. Canada won actually. South Africa lost. That was the very first day. That was just the opener, I guess. Netherlands versus Morocco. I was trying to tell people Morocco was gonna win because everyone was saying that Netherlands was gonna win. I'm like, I don't know. I do not know. I think Morocco. I mean, they finished 4th place last time for a reason, Argentina and Netherlands had a pretty controversial game last time around, but it's Morocco, dude. They're up. They're on the up. Don't get me wrong. This should not have been a round of 32 game. This should have been at least quarterfinals or something. Because they're both really good teams, and so I'm actually pleased about this one that it went to penalties because they're so evenly matched. Van Dijk versus Hakimi, Rahimi versus Gakpo, and yeah. I mean, I don't know much Moroccan players, but those are the only two that I know. And Bono. Yeah, I know the goalie. versus I don't know the goalie for Netherlands. But yeah, so I forgot to get my recaps for the previous games, but yeah, Paraguay. I don't want to get too much into that France game, but I think they did pretty good. Their goalie's pretty alright. Not much players really stand out. They really just parked the bus, and then they kind of just held their own in a sense. France and Sweden, I didn't really get to see much of that game. To be quite honestly with you, I think I was sleeping. With my schedule, I missed a lot of the morning games, so I only catch like the latter half of them. But yeah, I think I don't really tune into this one. I mean, it was a blowout anyway, so I'm like, it's not gonna be interesting. South Africa versus Canada. I mean, it was interesting until like the last minute. I feel like a lot of these like wins that took place during this run happened like last minute. Like Canada won last minute, Argentina won last minute, Belgium won last minute. That was. I'm gonna get to that. But that game actually pissed me off. But yeah. Portugal, Croatia. I couldn't watch much of that game honestly because that was happening while I was at work. I was trying to watch it while I worked, dude, but everyone and their mom just wanted to come to like their restaurant, and I'm like, bruh, come on, like the game is on, bro. Like, let me watch it. You know, 2 goals for like potentially like their last game. I feel bad for Modric. You know, I prefer Modric over Ronaldo. Like, I don't hate Ronaldo. I like Modric. Like, honestly, he gained my fandom back in 2018 when they went to the finals. And they lost to France, but I think just Modric just carrying Croatia for like the past 20 years it's been remarkable. I'm pretty sad that they have to go, but he had a good career, honestly. So Portugal won. I on some BS too, dude. Like offsides by a fucking hair. Like his hair touched the ball, and then like, oh, the sensor went off or whatever. I'm like, that's dumb. I'm like, all right, I know offsides is like a rule. I'm not complaining that offsides is a rule. I understand, but like, I feel like there should be like some sort of like amendment to it, you know, because like, all right, in soccer you can use your arms, right? Like you obviously you can use your hands, you can use your arms. It's called like a handball or like mano. Right? So I feel like that should not count in offside, you know? Like if you extend your hand, like what are you going to do with your hand? You can't score a goal with your hand. Yeah, like I feel like if the arm is extended out, like the arm shouldn't count towards offsides because you can't score a goal with your arm. So I feel like that should be disqualified from being offsides because you can't really like use your hands in a sense. Like that should not be part of the body that when you're offside. I'm not a football fan, so like you can like argue me with if you want, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like in his hair, dude. Like, yeah, it's part of his body, but it's his hair. What impact is he really gonna do with his hair? Like, come on now. I think that was just dumb. They should have been 2-2. They should have went to extra time, but I don't know. I don't want to get into the politics of things, but saying like, oh, FIFA's rigging it or whatever. I'm not that type of person, but I just think it's kind of bullshit. Like, just the rules are just. I get it. The rules are there for a reason and shit, but like, it comes to a point, you know. Like, oh, his toe didn't touch the ground or whatever. I'm like, shut the hell up, dude. It's really not that serious. But moving on. I mean, that's my only really takeaways from the game. Ronaldo scored a penalty, but, I mean, you can't really talk shit, you know. I feel like you get a penalty, you should be able to score that. And say, oh, Ronaldo or whatever. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, come on now, bro. Sorry, YouTube. I get a little bit too passionate about this stuff. But, yeah, moving on. It's Spain versus Austria. Didn't watch that game either. I was getting ready for work, and I saw the first goal, and that's about it. And I just like, yeah, Spain's going to win this. I already know. I'm not going to waste my time on it, to be honest. USA versus Bosnia. I was watching this game while I was doing work for my motion graphics job. Um, yeah, no, this game was interesting. 2-0. They scored with only 10 men on the pitch because Balogun got a red card. I don't know. I'm not gonna say. I don't really have any takes on it because, I mean, it was pretty crazy. He could have broke his ankle, but then again, referees have had priors, but it's controversial in itself. I don't really want to talk about it, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're fine, honestly. I mean, Balogun, yeah, he's gonna be missed next round, but they still got Pulisic, they still got McKinney, they still got Adams, they still got. I forgot the rest of the players on the team, but yeah, they still got everybody else. Yeah, Balogun's good, but he's alright. Belgium versus Senegal. Dude, we got robbed of penalties, dude. We got robbed of penalties. Oh my god, dude. I was hoping this one would go to penalty kicks because Belgium and Senegal, yeah, Senegal choked that game. They were up by 2-0 with like 5 minutes left to go in the game, and then like that, it was 2-2. They went to extra time. Yeah, Senegal should have lost that game. But dude, like, you're telling me that's a foul? Bro, I don't know if you watched the game. I don't know if you watched the game. But bro slid from the back, right? The Senegal player slid from the back, right? He tried his best to avoid contact, and he did. His cleat, like, grazed his... I'm sorry. His cleat glazed... his cleat grazed his, like, shin, and that's it. And they just called it a penalty. I'm like, bro, he was going for the ball. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact, but it wasn't enough for him to. Yeah, he flopped, but it wasn't enough for him to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and then I'm obviously gonna give him a penalty kick because it was like in the penalty box. But that was not a foul. No era penal, bro. No era penal part 2, because like that wasn't, bro. That literally wasn't. It grazed him, and like VAR for being like video like playback and stuff, like, dude, they actually are so unreliable. I feel like I feel like once it goes to VAR, like, yeah, the video will help, but like the thing about the video, it doesn't, when you slow it down, it doesn't show like what impact it can, because if you like speed it up or whatever, like, you're gonna miss it, but you can kind of see the impact that it has, right? But if you slow it down, like, all you see is like a little tap. But that's what I'm going off of. Like, how the heck do VAR know that he made such an impact on his leg that he couldn't get the ball? I'm like, bro, it's a cleat. A cleat. Not even his foot. Not even like the heel or like the ball of his foot. It was a cleat. A single one. So I'm like, that's actual bullshit. Like, I wanted to see penalties. I wasn't going for any team. Like, Belgium, Senegal, I don't have any connection to any of them. I wanted to see penalties, dude. I really wanted to. That's what I was more mad about. I want, like, yeah, Senegal's lost. I mean, they deserve to lose, dude. You blew a 2-0 lead within 5 minutes left to go. Yeah, dude, Raps, you gotta go. But, like, at least let me see penalties, dude. Like, we were robbed. We were robbed. I wanted them, but enough of that. Brazil versus Japan, another game I missed, sadly. I mean, Japan played their hearts off. Brazil just was the better team, and they showed it in the last couple minutes. They came in clutch, but can't really say nothing about it. Ivory Coast versus Norway. I didn't get to watch that game either, but I mean, Norway won pretty convincingly. I think Holland scored, I'm pretty sure. Mexico versus Ecuador. Yes, sir. I tried telling you. I tried telling you. Ecuador is not that good. Like, yeah, they got Hincapié. They got all the good players. They got, and I mean, Enrique Valencia is old as crap, but like, he's still pretty good. They got Pacho. They didn't need all that. They ain't got Quinones. They ain't got Mora. They ain't got Rangel. You know what I'm saying? Like they're bad. I'm sorry, but they're bad, dude. They know they are, dude. And then the freaking Hincape was talking shit, covering his mouth and shit. Just salty. I tried telling y'all, don't be scared of Ecuador. They're not shit. Yeah, they beat Germany, but you know what happened to Germany? They lost to Paraguay. They lost to Paraguay. Ecuador isn't crap in this tournament, dude. I'm sorry, but they underperformed the whole tournament. Like Curacao, yeah, I'm sure they're glad to be here, dude. But they couldn't even like win against Curacao. They couldn't even score a goal on Curacao. Who else was in their group? It was Germany, Curacao, Ecuador. And that wasn't Haiti. Who the hell was in the group? It was an African team, I remember. Was it? No, not Ghana. I was England's group. Who the hell was in their team? I can just scroll up, actually. Yeah. I'm over here. Ivory Coast, right? Duh. Right. All right. Yeah. So let's actually look at this. Let's actually look at this. I feel like I passed them. Never mind. Okay. Yeah. They finished third place with 4 points, right? They won one game against Germany, right? Mickey Mouse game. They drew against Curacao. They didn't score a single goal. And the only goals they scored in the whole tournament was against Germany. And then they lost against Ivory Coast. I'm telling you, dude, like, disappointing. Disappointing. So, like, I don't know why Mexico fans are so scared. And Ecuador fans are talking shit too. I'm like, bro. Like, y'all are playing at the Azteca. Y'all are cooked. But enough of that. I don't want to ramble on too much. That's just one game. But, yeah, I'm telling you. Ecuador had no reason. We had no reason to be scared of Ecuador. And I was proven right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Because I could have been wrong. And I could have been it could have been bad. But yeah, England versus Congo. I didn't get to watch the game either, if I'm being honest. But I heard Harry Kane scored like 2 last-second goals or whatever. Yeah, honestly, if Mexico wants to beat England, they have to beat Harry Kane. He's the only one that really shows up for that team. And I'll get into it once I get into there. But Argentina versus Cape Verde, that game happened today, dude. I'm telling you, dude. If they went to penalties, Cape Verde would have won. I'm telling you, Rosinha is a way better goalie than Emi Martinez. I know it sounds crazy that I'm saying that, but Emi Martinez is so overrated. I feel like he's just, like, he's all right. He's really not that good. He's not your Neuer. He's not your Hugo Lloris. I mean, Hugo Lloris is all right, but, like, still, he's not on the same tier. Rosinha, bro, I know I'm glazing, but, like, he's way better than Emi Martinez. So if they went to penalties, bro, they would have won. But they didn't. Messi just scored a goal, and then they scored last-second goal at the last second. I'm like, yeah. Honestly, there's only so much you can do against the Argentine team. So, but the fact that Cape Verde kept it close and they pushed them to like the last-minute brink of elimination, that's a win. I feel like that's a win within itself. You not only you made it to the knockout stage, you put the defending champs. You scared the shit out of the defending champs. I think that's a win. They thought it was going to be an easy game. No, hell no. Not today. Yeah, they lost, but they went out with the heart. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about that. My dad's just I don't know what the hell he's doing. But yeah, Australia versus Egypt. I only watched like the second half of this game. They went to penalties. See, I'm telling you, I love when games go to penalties. Egypt, yeah, way better team. I like than Australia, Mohamed Salah, Mo Salah. Pretty good team. Switzerland, Algeria. Didn't get to watch it. Really wasn't interested. I mean, I know someone who's from Switzerland, but I could he's cool, but I don't know. I just could care less about Switzerland if I'm being honest. Algeria, I don't really care either way. And I just watched Ghana and Colombia. The game was pretty boring, but my dad's going for Colombia, so I'm going for Colombia. But yeah, at least for that game. All right. Now time for round of 16 predictions. Sorry, I was busy yapping on round 32, but I feel like it was one of the better rounds, at least in recent history in total. I'm hoping round of 16 can live up to that. I mean, we got Paraguay versus France. Probably won't. Canada versus Morocco. Probably won't. Portugal versus Spain. It's gonna be pretty big. It's gonna be a pretty good game. USA versus Belgium. Pretty good. I feel like I have a hot take, but I'll get to that when I get there. Brazil versus Norway. That is gonna be a game to watch on Sunday. I'm watching that, of course, and I'm also watching Mexico play England. I'm nervous, not gonna lie. And then Argentina play Egypt, and then Switzerland versus Colombia. So I think France beats Paraguay pretty convincingly. Paraguay's Cinderella run ends here, sadly. I mean, they got no one I can really name, and I know that's not like the end all be all, but France got Mbappe, Dembele, Olise, Barcola. How do you say the goalie's name? Magnan? I don't know. Their French team is just absolutely stacked. But yeah. So I think France wins pretty convincingly. And then Canada versus Morocco. Canada's alright. They're not. They just don't have that dog in them yet. I do see they're them on the up and up. They could probably be better next tournament. Maybe not quarterfinal good, but they'll be a better fight in the round of 16 at least. So it'll be France and Morocco for quarterfinal. That's gonna be a good game. No, is it a rematch? Yeah, it is a rematch of last time, but that was a semifinal. Portugal versus Spain. I don't know. I can see this going both ways. Portugal is really not playing that good. They're not playing as good as people expected. Yeah, they made it to round 16, but you just gotta look at how they got there. Not super great, not super convincingly. Yeah, Spain started off kind of shaky, but they're the one and only team besides Mexico who has not conceded a goal yet in this tournament. So Spain they're dominating right now. I mean, yeah, they started off shaky by tying with Cabo Verde, but dude, it's Spain. So I think Spain's gonna win, but by a hair. I don't think it's gonna go two I'm not even sure if it's gonna go to extra time, but it's gonna be a close game. I think Cristiano Ronaldo scores 1 goal, 2 goals. Yamal scores 1 goal. I don't know why they always sub out Yamal. Keep him in, dude. I want to see him play. I don't care, strategy, whatever. I want to see the boy play, dude. Come on, just leave him in the game. Ronaldo versus Yamal, passing of the torch. Think about it. I mean, I know they don't play for. I know Yamal plays for Barcelona, and Ronaldo's historically known as a Madrid player, but I do not care. Passing the torch, I mean, it's not like he's gonna play Messi. They're on the other side of the bracket, unless they meet in the finals. But I don't know. So I think Spain wins that game. I think Portugal is just a little bit too disappointing to make it that far. But if FIFA wants to make their money, they pick Portugal. And then USA versus Belgium. I think USA wins. I know it's crazy. I know you're looking at me like I'm crazy, but Belgium is really not that impressive. Yeah, they've only turned up like the last two games of their tournament. This game, they won their game. They won their group out of nowhere. So, and they won. They beat Senegal by, I think, on some BS. So, and they almost lost that game too. They were 5 minutes away from losing that game. Not taking away what they did. I'm just saying, like, you only won because Senegal choked. Well, USA, yeah, they're out with Belguim, so that kind of hurts them. But I think Belgium is just not playing good right now. I think USA, like, I don't know what is up with these like host country teams, but they're just going off. Specifically, USA and Mexico, they're just going off. So, like, USA, yeah, they lost the game, but that was their B squad, and they just been dominant. I feel like, at least in the games that they played and that they won, they've been dominant. So I think they beat Belgium. So it'll be Spain versus USA in the quarterfinals. Spain's gonna beat that one, obviously, but I think USA makes it to their quarterfinals. And then Brazil versus Norway. Vinny Jr. versus Holland. I don't know. I want Norway to win. I really do. I love Holland, but Brazil's Brazil. They're good. I don't know if Rafinha's gonna be playing. I feel like that's like an X factor right there. If Rafinha plays, then yeah, I think Brazil wins. If he doesn't, Holland gotta go off. He gotta score at least 2 goals, 3 goals. Give him a hat trick or something. Do I want to go the upset? Screw it. I'm doing back-to-back upsets. I'm going Norway over Brazil for the quarterfinal, and then I'm going Mexico over England. I know that's biased talking. I know that's like, oh, this guy is just delusional. But think about it. They're playing the Azteca, right? England has never played a higher than, like, they're playing more than a mile high. They're going to have to get used to that. They can't get used to that so quickly. They're coming from Miami? No, they're coming from Florida, from what I've heard. So that's a huge jump. That's like 0 to 100, like, real quick. So, and Mexico, I mean, you saw what they did to Ecuador. You saw what they did to the Mexico fans. You saw what they did to the Ecuador team. Who's to say we're not going to do that to England too? Yeah, England's going to be a tough opponent. That's going to be our biggest test yet. But I think we can do it. I think Quinones, if he goes off, he scores a goal. Mora keeps doing those great assists. Rangel doesn't allow a goal, which he hasn't so far in this tournament. I think we're set. Yeah, England, traditionally, they've been the powerhouse. In this tournament, not so much. They're not really living up to their hype. They got Bellingham. They got Phil Foden. They got Harry Kane, right? Harry Kane is the only one that's really showing up. Yeah, he's like 3rd or 4th in the Golden Boot race. But if we, like I said before, if Mexico wants to win, we gotta control Harry Kane. Bellingham's not gonna do shit. And there are other players, I forgot. I mean, I know Raheem Sterling is not playing for them. But yeah, we just gotta control Harry Kane, and I think we can win. Just don't allow a goal. Easier said than done, but they've done it so far. Quinones goes off, right? So I think Mexico and Norway quarterfinal matchup, lock it in. Egypt versus Argentina. Goat, two goats, Salah and Messi. Last World Cup for both. I think this is where Salah's ends, sadly. Argentina's just looking too good. Yeah, they had a bump in the road against Cabo Verde, but Cabo Verde was just playing with like the power of friendship. They could do no wrong. But yeah, Argentina wins. Switzerland versus Colombia. I think Colombia wins. Switzerland, I don't really know any players on their side, but I think Colombia wins. They're playing too good. They're playing way too good. So yeah. And then they'll meet Argentina versus Colombia in the quarterfinals, and that's gonna be a game to watch. But yeah, enough of this. I've been on this for like 20 or more minutes. Not time to go to the map. And so now this is the map. I was recording for so long. I mean, my timer on my computer stopped recording. I mean, it was recording, but it stopped letting me know that I was recording. I completely forgot about it. I'm like, "Ugh." But yeah, I was just yapping straight up. But all right, so this is the map. As you can see, it's totally different from when you last saw it. You got Switzerland taking over Algeria's land, so they got a pretty good chunk of land now compared to the usual like small spot here. USA, they didn't really take much. They just took over Bosnia's land, so they just got some of like the Balkans area. Mexico, Ecuador really only had Ecuador, so they only took over Ecuador. I think the country that made the biggest jump was probably Egypt, because they took over all of Australia's land, and they had a lot. Spain, if you watched the last video, you see that Saudi Arabia is still on here. Ignore that. I totally forgot about them. But yeah, Spain has Saudi Arabia now. And since they beat Austria, they took over their land, but really wasn't that much. So yeah, this is the map right here. So in the Americas, you got Canada, Mexico, Portugal, England, Colombia, Brazil, and then Argentina took over Uruguay, and it basically have like that southern tip of South America. Africa, the only two African teams left are Egypt and Morocco. They're standing their ground against all these European, American teams. Like it's actually no Asian teams anymore. They're all just European American teams taking over, and then the Europeans actually, some countries from Africa have it, and some countries from South America, like Paraguay, they took over Germany and Poland. Morocco took over Latvia and I think Lithuania. I don't know, and it took over Netherlands, obviously. And then yeah, Canada took over South Africa. So going over like the matchups for next game, it'll be France versus Paraguay. So France can take over all of this, or Paraguay can take over all of this, and all their extra land down here. Canada will be against Morocco. So a lot of the teams don't actually border. I feel like the only ones that really border is Paraguay and France, and then Mexico. No, Mexico. Mexico does not connect. No, they don't actually. Yeah, because they're broken up here. They're broken up there. Yeah, they're broken up there. Yeah. Norway and Brazil technically border, so that'll be an interesting game to watch. Argentina, they're playing Egypt, right? Yeah, they don't border, not at all. Colombia, they don't. Oh, they do border with Switzerland. So this could either all be Switzerland, or this could all be Colombia. On in Spain versus Portugal. Finally. I know Spain's been wanting to get that land for so long. This might be their chance. I don't know. But yeah, they can finally get that land, and they can claim a pretty good chunk of land, actually. And then I think that's about it. There's really not that much games that are left. There's only we're game 88, so there's only 16 games left. Only a third of the World Cup teams remained. So yeah. Round 32 has been great. I feel like it's been one of the better rounds of recent memory. I could be just speaking out of recency bias, but 3 PKs, shootouts, and just this round, it's pretty good. Let's see if round of 16 lives up to that hype so far. Just on the matchups alone, there's a couple good games that like stand out to me. Like Mexico versus England, USA versus Belgium, Norway versus Brazil, and Egypt versus Argentina. As for the other games, I feel like they're not as interesting. I feel like jarring an upset happens. I think they're pretty easily predictable. I feel like, but yeah. Let's see how round of 16 goes. Go Mexico, bear. I think we can beat England, but we shall see. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. I work Tuesday, but the thing ends on Tuesday, so probably Wednesday. I'll make another video. I'll send this out. I'll edit and then send this out as soon as I can, and then that will be Wednesday. Would be round of 16, and then there will be 8 teams left. That's gonna be a lot, but yeah, it's gonna be fun, guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday or Thursday, in time for the quarterfinals. Have a good day. I'll see y'all later.